Hello. Today is Friday, June 6, 2025. This is a sideshow, and I'm Theodore Parker, coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky, on the East Coast of the United States. Today in this area, locally, dealing with the weather, currently the temperature is around 69 degrees. Today the high will be around 81, 69 feels like 69. Showers and thunderstorms late, highs in the low 80s and lows in the mid 60s. Some storms today may be severe. Storms possible this afternoon, a 42% probability. Grass, ragweed pollen decreasing tomorrow. Temperatures a little lower than yesterday by 7 degrees. And for those of you that have beach plans, avoid beach day dangers. Learn how to survive rip currents. So today in this location here on the East Coast, sunrise was at 6:15 a.m. Sunset will be at 8:58 p.m. The wind currently is around 4 miles per hour. And the AQI is moderate at 59. UV is low, but I'm quite sure it will get up to very high this afternoon. And pollen is very high. Other weather-related news, geographically, stormy pattern in south will last for days, producing possible severe weather, flooding, rain. How to get rid of a cold fast. I don't know if there's any quick formula for that, but if you have an interest, and I advise, again, if you have something that persists more than 3 days, I will consult a physician because it's hard to tell between the common cold, the flu, and still cases of COVID-19 going around. So my suggestion is know what you have and how to take care of it. Firefighters rescue Wichita driver from high water. And video, highway hail nightmare near New Mexico-Texas border. So that's the weather summary for today, Friday, June 6, 2025. Thought I would take a few minutes here. Again, this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker to go over some items that have been in the news over the past several days. So, being as it officially on the 20th of this month, it will be summer. According to the calendar, we're already into the summer equinox. So vacations, visiting, tourist attractions, etc. will all be in play during the summer months. So in our nation's capital, they have announced some changes to the all metro bus routes, and schedules will change on June 29th. So if you are a resident or plan to visit the nation's capital and make use of their transportation services, this is something that you might be well advised to pay attention to. And this is dated from May 25th, 2025. As follows. Better Bus is Metro's initiative to improve regional bus service. On June 29th, 2025, Metro will launch its new bus network. This is the first major overhaul in 50 years. We used your input to finalize the network, and Metro's board of directors approved it. Per WMATA, please use the resources below to learn more about your new routes and stops. So it's categorized. New routes for Metro's bus network effective June 29, 2025. Says click the links below for the new bus routes and frequencies. District of Columbia bus route profiles, Maryland bus route profiles, and Virginia bus route profiles. New maps for Metro's bus network effective June 29, 2025. View the full network and all the places you will be able to travel. Again, District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia service map. New neighborhood profiles for Metro's bus network, effective June 29, 2025. View the neighborhood profiles to understand your local network and the changes coming. Again, District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, neighborhood bus profiles. Bus stops. List of stops eliminated. Metro bus timetables and schedules. Select the bus route to download a schedule or view it online. And for purposes of passing on information, how new routes are named. All bus routes will be renamed. Routes will begin with a letter to indicate the area served. A for Arlington, Alexandria. C, crosstown, or D, downtown for DC. F for Fairfax City, Fairfax County, and Falls Church. M for Montgomery County. P for Prince George's County. Limited stop routes are indicated by an X at the end of their names. So, that's the latest from the nation's capital in regards to bus service. Hope that was helpful. Speaking of Capitol Hill, and Elon Musk, Doge, and the big beautiful bill, just to summarize, Doge was Elon Musk's suggestion to President Trump, and he agreed. So for 130 days, Elon Musk was allowed to cut government spending. The first 100 days of the second term of Trump's presidency, plus 30 more days. That time has expired. So with everything that was said and done, only about $175 million was saved. Now, the big, beautiful bill. The U.S. national debt was at $1 trillion. Now it's at $2 trillion. With the changes that Trump is proposing, it will climb to $3.5 trillion in 10 years. Now, this seems as good a time as any to review how our government functions. There are 3 branches of government: executive, legislative, and judiciary. Just because the president says something, i.e. signs an executive order, doesn't mean that the DOJ will not give it a look-see to determine if it is legal to do so. The legislative branch, Congress, made up of both Democrats and Republicans, have to pass it on both floors, the House of Representatives and the Senate, before it becomes law. That being said, a lot of what President Trump proposes with his executive orders is like the April Fool's joke, when you tell a person their shoes are untied and they are wearing slip-ons shoes. So in layman's terms, a lot of what he says is reactionary just to keep people guessing what will happen next. Despite all the talk about tariffs, officially, as far as I can tell, tariffs are still at 10% across the board. But nonetheless, when the new tariff changes were first mentioned, the stock market took a nosedive. And the changes had not even been passed into law at the time. So I will say this. I don't know if it's possible to eat popcorn while riding a roller coaster, but dollars to donuts, there's somebody that will give it a try. In today's news, exclusive. Billionaire Rihanna sparks financial warnings as she's refusing to get A$AP Rocky to sign prenup to protect her fortune. The superstar couple, who first met in 2012 and confirmed their relationship in 2020, are planning a secret wedding while preparing to welcome their third child later this year. Next one, truly heinous. Man forced woman to snort fatal amounts of drugs at gunpoint as revenge for reporting he had raped her. And that's out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And another one that kind of shook me a little bit, and this is from South Africa. This woman sold her 6-year-old child, I think, to a witch doctor or something like that, for her eyes and skin. So she is currently in court now facing a life sentence. Chuck Norris. I avoid these foods like the plague. Chuck Norris shares how to fight internal enemies after 50. And this is brought forward from Roundhouse Provisions. Chuck Norris is currently in his 80s. And I think that's a feather in his cap, being a martial artist. Number 4, Diddy trial. Woman forcibly removed from courtroom after shouting, "Diddy, these MFs laughing at you." Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of express something that I'm really listening to all that's coming out in this trial, which started in the early part of May. Now we're in the early part of June. So, considering everything that's been said about Diddy during the time period that's being considered, I have a question. And I understand that illegal drugs were involved with all these activities, but considering the time and the multiple relationships, so every day you were having a bad day. At no time did you have a good day, because what's being said went on for years during multiple relationships. So, every day was a bad day? Next one in today's news, Trump appoints 22-year-old former gardener with no national security experience as head of counter-terrorist hub. And this is out of Homeland Security, a newly graduated university student has that position per President Trump's appointment. Number 6 in today's news, ex-Scientologist Leah Remini, who plays the wife on the King of Queens comedy, thinks Tom Cruise will never leave the religion because he might not make it in the real world. And Leah was raised in Scientology. So most recently, she has been having things to say about that religious group. Next one, number 7. Shaquille O'Neal had to settle for Angel Reese after realizing Reebok didn't have money for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's "Let me make a power call real quick." When Shaquille O'Neal was appointed as president of Reebok Basketball in 2023, he was asked to lead the company's basketball strategy and build partnerships with athletes and teams to help the brand regain its prominence. Next one, NFL star's son Chase Stegall, dead at age 20 as body is found inside college dorm weeks after he penned emotional letter. A college soccer ball player and son of a former NFL great has died at age 20. Chase Stegall, 20, was found dead in his dorm room at DePaul University in Chicago on Monday morning, school officials said. Stegall was the son of former NFL wide receiver Milton Stegall. No cause of death has been released. Social media reads to Pacers taking game one of NBA Finals. Therese Halliburton is Michael Jordan in the clutch. Now, prior to game one, last night, Thursday, 8:30 on ABC, First Take was all over this game, talking about East Coast versus West Coast and probability, but the Pacers, according to the bookmakers, were being given 10 points. And I did watch the game, and from almost the first period, first quarter, OKC had the lead and kept it between 10 points and 6 points all the way up to the fourth quarter. So, the Pacers turned the ball over 19 times in the first half and struggled to contain MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who scored 38 points, but they never surrendered. Indiana came back from a 15-point deficit in the fourth quarter, and Therese Halliburton nailed a 21-foot jumper with 0.3 seconds left to claim a 111-110 win in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Now, on to our top stories for June 6, Friday, 2025. First one, Justice Department moves to confiscate $7.7 million of allegedly stolen crypto as North Korean IT workers infiltrate U.S. companies. Number two, Washington Sheriff shares new photo of suspect killer dad amid manhunt in daughter's triple murder. A Washington state survivalist has been on the run from authorities for nearly a week after allegedly killing his 3 young daughters, who were found with plastic bags over their heads and bound at the wrist at campgrounds in Sheldon County Monday. So they did post a picture of this man, new photo. Kevin Durant, trade rumors. Suns forward Knicks had mutual interest at February trade deadline per report. ESPN anchor announces cancer diagnosis. ESPN SportsCenter anchor Jay Harris is battling prostate cancer, he announced Thursday on Good Morning America. The Pacers showed a rare weakness. They won by relying on their biggest strength. And number 6 in the top stories, Musk says Trump would have lost 2024 election without him as Big Beautiful Bill feud continues. Elon Musk's statement, which I mentioned on the previous program during an interview with one of the broadcast anchors or broadcast reporters, was the Big Beautiful Bill. It could be big or it could be beautiful, but it cannot be both. Number 7, Rubio unveils new sanctions targeting the International Court for attempts to investigate U.S. and Israel. Again, brand new information to me, never heard of it, never thought it, didn't even cross my mind. Thursday's sanctions were imposed against 4 ICC judges under executive order signed by President Donald Trump. And number 8, Florida sheriff charged with racketeering and illegal gambling corruption probe. FBI thwarts mass shooting scheme at Washington State Mall. The FBI derailed a plot by a teenager who had planned to detonate a bomb at a Washington State shopping mall and shoot people as they fled a movie theater in the building, law enforcement authorities announced. And number 10 of the top stories today, judge blocks Trump administration preventing foreign students from traveling to Harvard. So those are your headlines and your top stories for Friday, June 6, 2025. And again, summer. Locally in Lexington, Kentucky, and across the country, summertime activities have begun. So check your city government's event schedule to find out what's going on in your city this summer. This is The Sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. That's it. Hashtag.